Hey guys, so we're going to talk beaver traps. I've got so many nuisance jobs in the last year over beaver. And I do a lot of the last videos that you guys have seen on my channel, if you follow me. Um, I have a HOA with a big lake, and beaver decided they wanted to take up residence. So I've been setting a lot of beaver traps all year long. And I've always had the MB750s. This is just a trap that I bought, and I like these traps. These are really good traps. MB750 is a great trap. It's got its major downfalls. And the major downfall that I find with this beaver trap is you have to put your hand in this trap to comfortably set this trap. I'm not a fan of that. And anybody who's set one knows what I'm talking about. I have shoulder length gauntlets that I use when I beaver trap when the water's cold. And the problem is these levers. If you can see these levers, right there, here's the pan. There's the dog. Right there's the dog. So you got to raise the pan up and set this trap to night latch. Well, the big issue that I have here is everything's inside the jaws. When I'm running with gauntlets and I'm setting, I'm running drowners. You can see I use rebar drowners. The problem is my gauntlets don't fit that great, and most people's don't. I have a hard time feeling up underneath this trap and coming around the frame like this. I use my thumb to set this. I don't like that. It gives me an uneasy feeling. I've caught my hand in this a dozen times. They're 4-coiled traps, so, when I catch myself, I got to take the drowner out completely, step on it, take my hand out, and then restart. But, the moral of the story is don't catch yourself. But I don't like that idea on this trap. It's a great trap. It holds beaver just fine. If anybody wants to go buy these traps for beaver trapping, they're a great beaver trap. They really are. But I decided that I was going to spend a little bit of money on some beaver traps this year. I was looking at my options. The problem is in Ohio, we have an 8 1/4 inside jaw spread restriction. The TS85 is what everybody goes to, and I like the TS85 idea because it's got a huge kill zone, but it doesn't have laminated jaws. I don't know the inside spread of a TS85. I think it's less than 8 1/4. Or more. I'm sorry, more than 8 1/4. But Duke, my number one trap that I run for everything is a Duke. So I decided to order 2 of the Duke 850s. This is a tank. This dude is so heavy. I mean, the weight comparison, the Duke weighs twice as much. I'm not going to put them on scales. I'm not going to do that shit. The Duke, just holding them in your hand. It's obviously taller. And it's obviously wider. If you can see that. It's a wider trap. It's taller trap. But with these cast jaws, the inside jaw spread is 8 1/4. So I can legally run these in Ohio for beaver. Now, they sell the offset jaws for wolf. This comes 4-coiled. And I'm here to tell you, I'm no chump. I have a very hard time setting this as a 4-coiled trap. It's almost impossible without setters. I can stand on it and set it. That's not a problem. But when you're standing in the water and you're knee deep in water, you're not standing on a trap to set it. I don't have setters. Maybe that's the answer. I'm gonna try to set this 4-coil trap right now. It's tough. I can't get it. I can't get it set. 4 coils. I just can't. These coils are huge. I don't know if you can see the difference in just the spring. It's so much bigger. The spring is so much bigger on these traps. But what I did is I took these 2 coils off. Now, here's the other one. I took these 2 coils off and made it a 2-coil trap. And I can set this. When I'm in the water with my waders, I don't have a problem setting this. It's a lot easier to do on my knee, but see? It's set. The night latch is awesome. Pan is perfectly flat. That's a monster of a trap. So, the Duke 850 is a great trap. This thing's huge. It's so heavy, and I can see where it would absolutely drown a beaver on a rod way faster than this MB750. Now, I can set this MB750 on my knee, even being 4-coiled. I cannot set the Duke 850 on my knee being 4-coiled. Even with the 2 coils on this, it'll almost jump out of your hand. Even if you take those 2 coils off. I took these coils off. They're monsters. So, the MB750, here it is, 4-coil trap. I can't set the Duke 850 as a 4-coil trap. I can't do it with my hands. I gotta buy setters, or I'm probably just gonna take those coils off. I don't need them. You know, as a wolf trap, 4-coil, great. A beaver trap, 4-coil, on this, I don't think you need it. But we'll set the MB750 real quick. All right. You see what I mean? By putting your hand in this trap, these levers hold the jaws down. And then once you set that trap, you got to reach up through here. There is no loose jaw on this trap. So you got to reach up through here and night latch it. So you got to put your hand in this trap when you're wearing gauntlets. Like, I have a hard time, I can't say I can't do it. With my gauntlets, it's just hard because you're adding fabric to your fingers and there's not a lot of room there. The MB750 is a great trap. I got nothing bad to say about it, other than there's no loose jaw, and you damn near have to put your hand in this trap to set it. I've drowned dozens of beaver with this trap. This is a great trap. I've also had a lot of pullouts with this trap, and I think it's because how thin the jaws are. What I love about the 850 is look how thick them jaws are. the gripping surface is so big, it's harder for them to pull their claws out than this. I don't know if you can see the difference. The Duke 850 is a tank. It weighs twice as much as this trap, the MB 750. I just know that I have a batch of MB 750s, and that's the batch that I'll always have. I'm gonna run these from now on, and I have a feeling, and I'll do a later video, that I'll never buy another beaver trap. Look at the kill zone on that. See the difference? Just my opinion, fellas. Tight chains.